Hi, it's another Sunday evening and you're welcome to Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwam. I'm sitting in for your regular host, Benjamin Nketi. And now this is the show that goes over everything that's happened across a sporting weekend. We'll talk about the high points, low points, everything in between, have some great chit-chat, some great analysis. And of course, your messages are also welcome. And you can send them in on the WhatsApp number on your screen. The WhatsApp number on your screen. That's how you can get in touch with us today on Scorecard. Today, we have a very interesting menu for you. We'll talk about the Black Stars, we'll do some Euro qualifiers, we'll do some other types of sports, and then we'll talk about Manchester United. They may not be playing on the pitch, but the Red Devils always are in the news. We'll talk about the latest. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has given the owners of the club a certain proposition. He wants 25% share of the club. We'll discuss the nuances, what it means, and all of that a little later on the show. So you can send in your WhatsApp comments. We'd love to go through them between now and when the show comes to a close in about an hour. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll unpack the show and we start rolling. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwam. Once again, let me introduce my guests for this evening, Coach Christopher Nimley and Edwin Kwakofi. Guys, good evening. How are we doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
How's the weekend been?
Oh, it's good. Missing Premier League action, but it was good to see the Black Stars back in action. And people like to say that they don't care about the national team, but the number of people who were up at midnight to watch the Stars. So
I see. Yeah. I see. All right. We'll talk about the Black Stars not too long from now, but let's start off with the Bet Power Ghana Premier League. It's still happening despite the fact that there's an international break. Let's talk about the game between Asante Kotoko and the Diana Stars. Kotoko started the season on a slow note, but they've started to pick up the wins here and there, and they are gradually stringing them together. Their latest opposition was Diana Stars, and they met at the Baba Yara Stadium. All right, so another Kotoko win, another Carlo Ouattara goal to give them 3 points. So that's 2 wins. They beat Accra Lions, and then they're beating Diana Stars. We'll get to the results in a bit there. But guys, thoughts on this one? Asante Kotoko picking up yet another 3 points. Chris?
Yeah, I think it was very important that they win the game because at the end of the day, they've not had the best of starts. And I've listened to people, Kotoko faithful, and some of them have been saying that, look, Prosper Ogum cannot hide behind rebuilding a new team and begin to lose matches. They will not accept that from him. Not from the new management team and all that. They needed the team to go out there and prove that they are Asante Kotoko. You see, there's that, I don't know whether feeling rightful or wrongly so. They believe that it's their bona fide right to win every season. But I've always told them that, look, if you look at what is going on, you need to calm down. Every team goes through some form of transition. And I think Kotoko, they are at that stage. They can hope that they'll win the league, or they can hope that they will win every game. But they will not win every game. And as it stands now, they don't look to be the best team in the line. I think the likes of Mediama and one or two other teams on their day will handle them good. But going back to the game again, I think they played very well. They were good intent. They knew what they had to do. They tried variety of set pieces. And I'm always happy when my team scores from a set piece. But I'm always also very mad when my team concedes from a set piece. If you look at, it's like the entire Ediana backline or the players, they were all not focused, because how on earth did they allow 2 Kotoko players to pass the ball from the corner kick and then allow Richmond Lamptey the time to control the ball into his left foot and then pick the cross? And look at the marking. Very bad. At this level, you don't do that. You've already committed the first blunder, but not clearly seeing that you had 2 Kotoko players by the ball. So that should have told you at least an immediate defensive line cover should have been created, so that the moment that routine is executed, you go and try and stop the cross from coming in. They didn't do anything like that. And eventually when the ball got floated, look at the defender. He was just hoping. The way he jumped was to try as much as possible to distract the Kotoko player, but there was no proper intent in dealing with the ball in the air. And for the Kotoko striker, like every striker is to return the ball back to where it came from. All he needed to do was to go back to basics and then make sure he headed the ball on target and from the direction from which it came. And I think 95% of goalkeepers will not save that. It most often than not ends up in the back of the net. This is what you want to do, or this is what you want to see happen. If you are Prosper, no matter how it goes, you want them to find a way of winning. I listened to him, I think after the second or third game, where he said, in that first game, they created very little. Subsequently, they've created lots of goal-scoring opportunity. And as a coach, once the chances have been created, it is just a matter of time, and that will get put away. This, in my view, wasn't a chance. It was lackluster marking on the part of the Adriana
but just to touch on, Prosper now, Tilgrim, and what possibly they are doing. If you just look at a lot of the goals Kosovo have scored this season, they come from dead ball situations. So set piece, they cross it in, or they work a routine. So it looks like that's something they may be working on.
It's an integral part of the modern game. And if you say you are a manager or if you are a coach, that is something you should get your team to perfect.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when it comes to the Black Stars, you give us 100, we'll make use of only one.
Okay, we'll talk about the Black Stars in a bit. Edwin, your thoughts on what you witnessed? Kotoko getting another win. So it's their second straight win. They won against Accra Lions, but the same score from the same player, and now they've returned, or they have repeated the trick again against the Gianna Stars.
Look, coach is absolutely right for Kotoko in transition. So things are going to be different. It's going to be harder for them to pick up results. It's going to be harder for them to get their play going. But the most important thing for a team like Kotoko in transition is to win games. And if you don't win games, at least don't get beat. And so far this season, they've done that creditably. I think they've won 2 out of their 5 games, lost only 1, which is very good for a team that is coming up, that is starting with a new team in place, very new players who have come in, who are now adjusting to life in Kumasi, adjusting to the football that Kotoko plays. So
and the pressure that comes,
with it. So it's important for them not to lose too many games at this stage in their football season, and they've done that pretty creditably. But I'm worried because it's Kotoko. They are a huge club in Ghana.
Yep.
You expect them to be playing the best football, to be scoring lots of goals, but so far they've scored 4 goals all season in 5 games. That is unacceptable for a Kotoko side. The good thing is they are not conceding. Only 3 goals conceded so far this season. So they are not scoring, but they are not letting in, which helps when you are in team in transition, trying to win games, trying to win these close games. So it's good for them that they are not conceding, but I expect better from Kotoko. A lot of people are saying that they are playing some wonderful football. Personally, I don't really see it. I think they are dragging out these games. They are eking through these games. They are eking out the results. And I hope to see better from them because they are one of our best sides. But so far, I've not seen them at their best. And I think Prosper Nate is a very good coach. I expect him to work on the side. Eventually down the season, maybe a few games in, we'll see them at their best. But a couple of things that really interest me about this game. First of all, that we are playing through an international break. A few years ago, this wouldn't have happened. We would have had a break and then would have disrupted our schedule. So it's good that at least we are keeping our schedule in place, letting the league games go on. Because there are hardly any local players in our national teams over the last few months. So it's important that our local teams keep playing. Second thing is, you mentioned it, the set-piece routines. I think we are seeing it a lot more from our local teams. We saw it with Accra Lions. We've seen it recently with Midiama as well. And
they scored one from a free kick last week.
And Chelsea as well. So I think it speaks to the fact that our game is evolving. The coaches coming in are adopting strategies on the training ground. Players are sticking to those strategies and trying new things. In this Kotoko game, the free kick, but as well the corner. It wasn't just cross it into the box, hope someone hits it. It was a short corner routine, allowed players to get into different positions, lose their markers, and the Gianna couldn't deal with it. I think the league has been pretty decent in terms of play so far. I hope to see better. But Kotoko in 4th place, I'm still not pleased. I hope they start playing some better football going forward.
Okay, all right. Let's have a look at the results of this round of the Bet Power Ghana Premier League. There you have it, Kotoko beating Diana Stars by 1-0. Bofakwa Tano and Gold Stars drew goalless. So Tano Bofakwa are still undefeated in the league. Samatex, they are continuing their good home form. They beat Dreams FC. RTU beat Karela by 3-2. Interestingly, Legon Cities and Bechem drew 1-1. Brekum Chelsea beat Nations FC. Mediama against Inswatreman, that's yet to happen. Heart of Lions will take on Heart of Oak. We'll see how they fare. And Great Olympics will take on Accra Lions in an Accra derby, which will be played in Sogakope because Great Olympics are not playing in Accra for some time. So that's that. As usual, when you work the numbers based on the number of goals scored, really low.
Does anything else stand out to you there? No one away win.
No one. So far, I think we've had 2 away wins. Mediama has 1. I think they have 2 away. I'm not too sure. But if you just look through, still the number of away wins in 5 match weeks in the Ghana Premier League is about 2, which is really poor.
It is. It is.
It's
and you
really
could give
poor.
so many reasons why.
Travel,
officiating, the teams are all at par. A lot.
Wow. Look, for a lot of people, you may think that we are making a fuss, but it should really strike you that the Ghanaian League Championship is struggling to find away wins. So meaning that essentially people will win the league primarily based on what? Home form. And you only scrape a few points away from home. But that's worrying because we have 2 teams playing on the continent, meaning that they haven't cultivated a skill of winning away games. And that could really worry them. That could worry them. All right, let's move it on. Let's escalate national team issues or national football issues. So the Black Stars, now in the month of October, it's the final international break of the year, and they decided to take on Mexico and the USA, 2 neighbors in North America. So on Friday night, which is early Saturday morning, the team played, I think it was Saturday night rather, the team played against Mexico, the L3 as they are called, and they played that game in Charlotte, USA. The Black Stars lost by 2-0. It has a lot of people concerned, but let's see exactly how the Black Stars lost to Mexico in that international friendly. All right, so Black Stars losing that game by 2-0. There, they lost to Mexico. Chucky Lozano, Ervin Lozano, he scored the first one, and then the Black Stars conceded the second one. Guys, on Friday, Chris, I was with you on Friday on radio, and I asked you a question that, what is it that you were looking out for, or what should concern your namesake Chris Hilton in that encounter? After 90 minutes, what did you take away from that friendly?
Nathan, I'm worried. Look, I'm seriously worried. There are 3 reasons why I'm worried.
Okay.
1, we have a very imbalanced team. Even when all those players we think we are missing, if they were to come. When I say those players we are missing, not those who are on exile from the team, saying that they won't play for the team again. No.
But the larger pool that is available. The larger pool
due to injuries that if you bring them there, I still do believe we don't have proper balance.
Okay.
2.
Where that balance means what?
There's no proper coordination from defense to midfield to attack.
I see.
When we pick the ball, our movement alone will not allow us to play in a certain way. We've seen our teams. Look, even under Milovan Rajvac, who was so defensive-minded, when we picked up the ball, we knew from Pablo.
You mean the Milo chapter 1?
Of course, not Milo chapter 2. From Pablo to Kevin Prince Boateng, Ajuman Bedu, Kodja Samoa Jan. You see, Andre Ayew, we had a very distinct way of building our attack, and the intensity with which we did that, the speed was delicious. So one pass from Antonana to Kodja Samoa, diagonal 60 yards, bam, the ball is in the back of the net. That was a rehearsed way of doing it, because that team had proper balance. 2, we don't understand what we are doing.
Wow.
Even with the ball, we don't understand what we are doing. Here is the case where we have a very brilliant number 10 who, I don't know whether he's been told and if he's been told and he's refusing, you put him on the bench. Mohamed Kudus is not bigger than the Black Stars of Ghana. He's our main man. But I think that at this level, he should be told when to dribble or when to do what. He is that talented, but he needs proper guide. This player, when we see him play in Europe, he doesn't attempt to dribble anytime the ball gets to him. But surprisingly, anytime he comes to the Black Stars, he picks up the ball. He believes that, or he thinks that he should take 4, 5, 6 touches on the ball before he let go of it. Who plays football like that? Even in our half, he's trying to go past people. Whilst a control and touch will more or less liberate the whole team in a certain way that will get us properly coordinated as a unit going forward. Is it that the coaches can't see, or is it that they've told him, if they've told him he's refusing, you yank him out? I would take him out quick. But if he's not been told, and you allow him to do that throughout the game, and for those of us watching, it means that is the instruction from the coach.
So you mentioned this lack of balance.
Lack of balance.
And a lack of coordination. Okay, what's the third thing?
The third one is that if you know your team struggles for goals, which is something we've been used to for the past 15 years. I believe that since Stephen Appiah, Laie Kingston, Suleiman Tari, Makalesian, since we lost those group of players, because during that time, Mathiama would score. He was a Jenny goal threat. Asamajan was, Stephen Appiah was, Makalesian was, Suleiman Tari, Laie Kingston. Look at the number of players who we had. And the goal scoring responsibility was equally shared. And therefore, in the game, I was not waiting to see Asamajan score, because I know that if Stephen gets it, he puts it away. Even in our very crucial games, Asamajan was not scoring.
Yeah.
I remember that qualifier game in Johannesburg. It was Makalesian
and Matthew Amwa.
Yeah. Because there were options.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at this team, Chris Hughton cannot tell me that he's not aware that our team has goal-scoring problem. So in fixing that, you don't open yourself up to be punished the way we are being punished. Against every quality, look, I worry because whenever we go a goal down against a quality opposition, it's game over. Because like the coach rightly admitted, we have problems scoring goals. So I would have thought that if indeed we have problem scoring goals, put up a system that will make sure that we don't cheaply give chances away. Look, if the Mexicans were to be very clinical, they should have beaten us a minimum of 5-0. So I was asking myself, where is our strength? Every team
has a strength.
Every team should have a strength. When we look at our team defensively, we are bad. In midfield, we are not good. In attack. So where exactly do we put ourselves that, look, this is our strength? So that forms the foundation of anything we are going to do as a team. I didn't see that. And listening to the coach after the game, wow, he alluded to the fact that our players got carried away. He said that. How much is he being paid? Look, you see the level of disrespect our people shows to the people of this country. I take my pay slip at the end of every month. I see how much money is taken from me to pay Chris Hughton, to pay Masawu Didi Dramani, to pay Watton. And they cannot tell me, or any of us, how much money. Even the president of the land, we know how much money he takes every month. What sort of people are we dealing with? We don't know how much money the man is taking. So at the end of the day, he can speak anyway. Look, I accept that we don't have a good team. I said it on Sports Panorama that on top of my head, I know of 10 teams going to the AFCON that are better than us.
So you mentioned that the 6 teams in pot 1.
That's it.
And then 4 teams in pot 2.
Okay. That could beat us on any day with ease, not any form of difficulty. So it means what we need to do, the least we can do to better our chances is to be very sincere and honest with our selection. Schindler. Joe, what is the name? Schindler.
Kingsley Schindler, sorry.
Look, you see, when you do these things, Ambrosius, and then there was this guy, constantly Chris Hughton has given him a call, but he's never giving him any opportunity to kick the ball. So why do you keep calling him? You see, this is the Black Stars of Ghana. This is the Black Stars. So once we've got players injured, it's an opportunity to get us to see some of these guys. It's a friendly game. If you are not ready to get us to see them in a non-competitive game, when are you going to get us to see them? Look, the coaching has not been good. Truth be told, I'm aware I need to give him some time. But he's been with this team for over a year. Since he took over, the coaching, the style has not been good. I'm not expecting them. No. But we need a base.
But at least you want at least a definition of what we are doing.
We need a base to step out with. We need an area of strength as a foundation to get us to build upon. Under Chris Hughton, I've not seen any of those. No communication, no coordination. That is why when our player is, even in our A team, when the player is heading the ball, another one is blasting his head out. What is this? Under no pressure, no Mexican player was there. 2 Ghanaians. One was heading, one was kicking. We are kicking our own face. What sort of thing is that? You see, it is when you call the... Look, but for Chris Hughton to have said that our players have not played in a stadium like that. What? He should apologize for that statement. It clearly tells you that the next time we go into any such atmosphere, as a coach, he doesn't have what it takes to get these boys, to galvanize the boys. When we were, a typical Ghanaian player, is it now because our team is being dominated by foreign players who were born in Ghana, who have not played any top-level football? They are calling second division, they are calling... We've gone past these things. Stop them. Call players who we know. When given the chance, they will prove themselves. Schindler, Ambrosius, and those people, they are not good. They are not good players. They should not be playing for Ghana. They are part of Ketokreku consultancy. Stop calling them. They are not good players.
All right.
What is this?
You just hold your horses. We'll take a very quick break. This is Scorecard on Citi. When we come back, I'll take Edwin's thoughts. Maybe we'll dissect a bit more. We'll talk about the goals Ghana conceded, maybe what they can do better as they take on the USA early next week. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Carr. I'm sitting in for a regular host, Benjamin Nketia. Coach Christopher Nimley and Edwin Kwakofi are here with me. Edwin, your thoughts. We've listened to Chris. He's quite animated. Your thoughts on, let's talk about the goals the Black Stars conceded. Because if I look at this team from the World Cup, because the World Cup was the last tournament they were in, from the World Cup till now, you look at the goals the Black Stars have been conceding, and some of them are really worrying. You can tell that they are structural in nature. There are lots of defects with the team. Very worrying. And I'd like to take each goal in turn and just go through, because I saw at least 4 mistakes in both goals. The first one scored by Lozano, I believe. Chucky Lozano. You look at the right back, the positioning of the right back. If we can get if our production, yes, they can. Maybe from a set. You look, from a set. Keep looping it. You look at the positioning of the right back. If I'm facing Lozano, it's a clear understanding that he doesn't have an understanding of how Lozano plays. Lozano is very right-footed. So in such a position, he is not going to go on his outside. He's not going to go on his left. His weaker foot. And the defender, I think it was Schindler on that occasion. Schindler. He gave him so much space. And all Lozano had to do was cut onto his right, and he had a clear shot at goal. You can't really blame the goalkeeper for that, because he could have gone to the far side, could have gone for the near. And the other defenders, they should be blocking that ball all day. They just stood there. Proper defender will call the ones he's gone onto the right foot, onto his right foot, he's gone. And I'm watching it. And look at players. They were standing there. You should be blocking the ball with all your
whatever you
shouldn't
got.
allowed him to just cut onto his right foot. It's like you are facing an Iron Robin, and then you allow him to move on to his left.
He wants to go there.
He wants to go there, and you allow him. You give him space to do that. That's what happened for that first goal. Now for the second goal.
Okay. So as
if you can get it. Look, first of all, that centre-back who stepped up, he stepped up way too early, without any awareness of what was going on behind him. Look at the space in between Gideon Mensah and, was it Nicolas Opoku?
What was that?
The forward had a clear path to go.
Okay, so if we run it back, I just want to run. So here we see the sequence building. We see one Mexican player running through on goal.
He did not take a look around.
Tactically, let me point out something. If we could go back.
Okay, I don't know
just
if
go
if
back
the team
some.
Could just go back a few frames.
Let's go back a few. I want to indicate how bad defensively we were. Now stop it here.
The sequence starts from here.
Stop it here. Look at the positioning of Gideon Mensah.
So Gideon Mensah is on the extreme end of the
Look at the gap between he and, is it Nicolas Opoku and
that's a very wide gap.
What sort of, and look at his player. Look at the one he was marking, the right winger of Mexico, the one who's going to finish the ball. How on earth, you the defender,
okay,
we were not in possession of the ball. We had lost the ball. How could you keep that gap? That is coaching. That's what I'm saying, that we taught Chris Hughton defensively is a solid coach. Yeah. But look, this is kindergarten. You see, you only do this as a fullbacks. You only go wide when the ball is in the middle of the park and we are in control. Then you give your team width. But the diagonally, from the opposite floor,
here.
See,
so Gideon Mensah
look at where the ball is.
So
there's no reason why he should be there. He should be in the position where the Mexican player is, the one who's going to score the goal.
So that Gideon Mensah should be narrow.
He should be very narrow.
I see.
Because the ball was not even in the middle. The ball was coming from.
Okay, so then the sequence moves on. Gideon Mensah doesn't take care of the
match. He's struggling. Look at the gap.
He's just gone.
He's gone. And that was his marker. He saw the move. Why was he that wide when we were not in possession of the ball? Shocking to me.
Wow.
Shocking, absolutely shocking to me. And it has to do with the imbalance and the shape of the team. Because tactically, you only go wide as a fullback when, let's say, your number 6 or your centre backs or your number 8 have the ball and we want to progress. So you have to give us width.
Yeah.
But the moment we lose the ball, you come narrow. Especially when the ball is on the opposite flank, you have to come this way.
All of you shift.
Because naturally, the 2 centre backs will all shift. So if you don't shift along with them, there's a huge gap there. And that was exactly what's happening.
That's a huge gap. So clearly that's a structural problem, which was coaching. So Chris Hughton did not coach them, get them to understand.
Instead of him to talk about his tactics and what went wrong, he's saying that our players have not played on
I've read comments attributed to him on the pitch. He's talked about the fact that the team...
but that's a hybrid.
The
pitch is a hybrid pitch. You can't tell me these are all professional players.
These Ghanaian players have played on West pitches, believe me. They have. This shouldn't be a major problem.
You should stop.
Okay.
And on the fans' bits, the fact that they've not played in such an atmosphere.
This team played in the World Cup.
Semenyo has played at Anfield.
And it doesn't get any bigger than that.
We don't see it on TV because they like to take out these moments.
But
a lot of the insults players get when they play at Anfield. You play on the wings, the fans, the insults the fans are raining at you. It's an intimidating atmosphere. It's one of the most intimidating atmospheres in world football. So you can't tell me that he's faced that at Anfield. Partey has played at the Tottenham Stadium, played at...
he's played at the
Bernabeu. He's played at the
Wanda Metropolitano.
Edu plays at the Camp Nou and all that. What is that? He should be talking that, look, tactically I got it wrong. That is what he should be telling us.
All right, guys, so what's the way forward? Ghana takes on the USA. The USA lost to Germany by 3-1. They played a very good first half, and then the second half collapsed, really.
That game against US, everybody should accept that our team is not good. I've said it already. And we are worsening the situation by calling the sort of players we are calling. I told you that if I was Chris Hughton, having been given the job, I go call Jeffrey. I go sit down with Jeffrey Schlupp. I go sit down with Alfred Duncan. I go sit down with Bernard Mensah. And I bring, because these are players with pedigree. players who are doing the thing week in, week out at the very top level. When Partey is taken out of our team, we are all worried. We are all worried. The moment Kudus is substituted, there are issues. You don't build a team like that. There could be a very bad day for Kudus. You want to put an end to a 42-year wait of winning the AFCON?
Yeah.
There's a way of going about it. Whatever is going to happen on Wednesday in the US, we cannot control because those boys are already there. But like I said on Sports Panorama, but now we should know the core of this team. Me, I'll be shocked if after this very friendly game, I see Ambrosius, I see Schindler, I see the one you mentioned that he's never given. Koningsdorfer. When you see those people, it's like you are playing with our hearts. You are playing with our hearts. There's no proper coordination. Now, we are playing against you. Look, if we open up, the beat us plenty. So I'm waiting to see. I want to see a very compact, low block, proper counter-attacking football. When we lose the ball, don't attempt winning the high up the pitch. Come back. Put men behind the ball. Because if you allow them spaces, they will punish you.
Yeah.
You don't score goals. Why do you allow people to come and score you? Stay compact, proper defensive line cover, double, triple, if possible, quadruple the defensive line cover, so that when I go and I know I'm beaten, there's somebody behind me. So I will not be afraid. I'll go and put press, because when I go, the defensive line cover ensures that I've got people behind me. In case I'm beaten, we'll deal with the situation. But if you allow one pass, just a pass,
simple pass,
to open you up like that, then the man, we should know how much money he's taking. If maybe the money is too much.
Okay. All right. The Black Stars will play against the USA Tuesday night in the US, Wednesday morning for us down here. It's about 12:30 Wednesday morning, 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. You can stay up and catch it, and hopefully things should work out for the Black Stars. Let's get to Europe. They are playing the Euro qualifiers, and there was a very interesting match between the Netherlands and France. The Netherlands are going through a very, very difficult time, and they welcome France, who are top of that qualifying group in the Euro qualifiers. Let's see how that particular game played out. All right, so a Kylian Mbappe double, giving France 3 points and effectively giving them a place in Euro 2024. It should be played in Germany. So France have qualified, Belgium have qualified, Portugal have qualified, and then the Germans themselves, because they are going to host the competition. Guys, that was a very, very good display for France, Edwin. Really, really good game for them.
It was a very good game, especially considering the number of injuries they've got, especially defensively. Disasi is out, Fofana is out, Kimpembe is out, so many defenders out, but they have reinforcements to fill in. We saw Klaus with the assist for the first goal.
Jonathan Klaus.
The Hernandez brothers, very good fixtures. Even Pavard is on the bench. So there are a lot of reinforcements for France in that position, but up front is where they create the most damage. And they have the most damaging forward in the world right now in Kylian Mbappe, who can hurt you in a number of ways. We saw that second goal, it's a fantastic goal. He probably should have got a hat-trick, might have got that, but his efforts hit the woodwork. For the Netherlands, I'm a bit worried because for a team that is stacked with such defensive quality, they concede quite a number of goals. You have Van Dijk, you have Ake, you have Dumfries, De Ligt, even though he didn't play, Daley Blind was on the bench as well. But that defensive cover is not there, and you got to look at Flecken in goal. Not the most stable, not the most assuring goalkeeper. But I don't think they will be too worried about this result. First of all, they are losing to a team I expect to win the Euros. A team
France,
that has had the best squad over the last couple of years and probably should have won more than they have currently. Also,
they made 2 World Cup finals back to back.
World Cup finals. I think they should have won the second, but the other team had Lionel Messi. I think they should have won the Euros. Very unlucky to go out of that competition as well. But yeah, the Netherlands will console themselves with the fact that they are facing a very good France squad and that they have a lot of players out in. De Jong didn't play. Good offensive options, Gakpo, Memphis Depay not around as well. So I think if those players come back, if they have their whole squad settled, this is a team that could really cause some problems. But without them, they look a very suspect entity. And I'm starting to worry about Ronald Koeman's time in charge. It doesn't seem to be the most assuring for Dutch fans, because in the previous, under previous managers, they looked like a team that had their ways about them, that went into these games against France and didn't capitulate in the first couple of minutes. But we are seeing that a bit more regularly, where they face the big sides and they look second best a lot of the time. And with the kind of players they have in their team, that shouldn't be the case.
Chris?
Yeah, I watched the game and I think
that... we're following that.
Look, by far, France is the best team in Europe. They can afford to have 3 different sets.
They do have depth.
And they will all play at the same level. My only massive disappointment was with Ronald Koeman. If you are missing as many as 7 of your regulars, you don't ask guys who would not be there, had everybody been around, to go and play the way we know you to play. That's what he did. Look, without Frankie de Jong, you cannot boss the midfield against France. Even with him there, it's going to be tough for him to boss the likes of Tchouaméni, the likes of Camavinga, and then Rabiot, Griezmann, who is playing more as the 4th decoy midfielder. So that number 10 given the freedom to roll everywhere. So there has to be a certain structure. Look at the goals. Look, if the only thing the French team waited for, they waited for them to commit those errors. Once you commit the error and there are gaps, give it to Mbappe. He will punish. Or give it to Koeman. They'll go and they'll punish you. So, look, it is looking very scary for them. I think they play Greece-ness. It's a must-win game for them. If they don't win it...
Do you get concerned quickly for the Netherlands? The fact that they've not done well in world football probably since 2014, when they finished 3rd in that World Cup. It's almost been like a downhill journey, and they're struggling to really cause a stir.
I'm worried. I'm worried for them because, see, they are obsessed with their way of doing things. The lack of pragmatism approach has been their downfall. They still think they are that good, and therefore it is this way and no other way. The last time I saw them that good was when they were coached by Louis van Gaal at the World Cup in 2014. They had Iron Robin, the Van Persie, those guys, well established, that could put fear through the spine.
And even that team did not play like a typical Dutch team. They had to sometimes play on the break.
And then the bit pragmatic. But Ronald Koeman is a stubborn manager. He was stubborn.
He's a typical Dutch manager.
That manager. We do it this way no matter what happens.
All right.
I think that is going to cost.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how they fare. So, like we said, France have qualified. Belgium have made it. Portugal have made it. Fun fact about Portugal, they've scored 27 goals in the qualifiers and conceded only 2. So that's how good they are. Let's see how good they will be when the Euros come around next year. And Germany, as host, they've also qualified. They are also beginning to find life tough, and they are trying to see if they can chart their path under new manager Julian Nagelsmann. He took charge and beat the USA 3-1 in a friendly. All right, let's wrap it up with some club news. Like we said, teams are not playing, but Manchester United are always in the news for one reason or the other. Now, on Saturday, the news broke that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who's the CEO of Ineos and owns Nice Football Club in France, he and the Glazers had agreed to get a 25% stake in the club for £1.3 billion. So he's giving them £1.3 billion. He's getting 25% share of the club and control of the football operations of Manchester United. Now, the other person who wanted control of the club was Sheikh Jassim. He had been knocking on the door, stated all kinds of amounts. The Glazers said no way, and he's walked away from the bidding process. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it looks like after the board meets to ratify or formally agree to his £1.3 billion, if that goes through, he will take 25% control of the club and in addition get the free hand to take sporting decisions at Manchester United. That has upset a lot of fans, including Coach Christopher Namely, who put out a tweet on Saturday. Chris, when the tweet came out on Saturday? Saturday, I think not long after we spoke. He says, under any Glazers ownership, I officially announce to all those who love me that I no longer support Man United. Any deal between the Glazers and Sir Jim is disgusting, and I'm out of this mess. I have been a fan since 1993, and I ended my support in 2023. says 30 years ended today. Chris, you and I have been talking about this for months and months. So I can tell you are very upset by this development.
Very, very upset. And look, since the news broke to me, when I read the tweet of Fabrizio.
Fabrizio Romano.
I called you.
Yeah, I remember you called me.
And then we spoke. And I said, look, that's it. I don't know, but there was this, it just went out of me.
You don't feel like supporting
because look,
anymore.
Why should you support a team that has not got any vision? This team is used to winning. And that's Sir Alex Ferguson, the Glazers' father, the one who actually bought the team. Not with his own money. I think he brought 200 million pounds, borrowed 590 million pounds, and paid 790 million pounds for Manchester United almost 2 decades ago. Since his death, handed the thing over to his, how many are they? Six sons. This thing has always gone this way. Shake. Look at the offer. You see, you need to be, when some people look at you, say, this man, these people, are they correct?
Okay, let me ask you a question, and we need to wrap it up. Let me ask you a question. Could it just not be that the Glazers do not want to end their relationship with Manchester United? Yes. So it doesn't matter how much money you offer them. So far as there is the potential of a clean break, they don't like the idea.
You see, then they shouldn't have done what they did. They should have told the whole world that we are not ready to sell fully. We need somebody to come and invest.
Yeah, but to be honest, that's what their statement.
No, they did say that
in November
there was a possibility of a wholesale
possibility.
This team is worth 3.5 billion on the stock market. Somebody gives you 5.8 billion pounds, and you turn it down for 1.3 for 25%. As for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's an enemy to this club because he has I want him to buy the whole club. I'll buy 70%. I'll buy 50%.
Chris, but could it also not be that
deal he's made?
Could it also not be that in his dealings with the Glazers, he's come to understand that these people, this is what they like. They still want to have some control. Because some people are speculating that the takeover will happen, but in phases. So now it is 25%. Next time it could be another 25.
So what?
Then another 25.
What makes him think that in 3-4 years' time, if the Glazers are making the money, what makes him think that they want to surround?
That's what I'm saying. That I think for as long as the Glazers feel that they have a link with Man United, they'll keep giving out control. No. Even if they have what they have left is only 5%, they'll
take it. They are the majority
shareholders.
It's still the Glazers. So they own the club, not Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Yes.
He doesn't have any money.
But he's been handed control of football operations.
The Glazers can go and sleep one day and say, hey, we don't want you. They run the shop.
Edwin, quick thoughts.
Look, I don't think people here understand. There are a few fans who don't understand why people don't like the Glazers. And let me give this analogy to just end it all. Let's say your parents buy a dog and they say that, no, the dog has to perform tricks. And the money that the dog makes from those tricks is what they will use to take care of the dog. So they are not going to buy anything themselves. No food, no water. What the dog makes performing the tricks is what they will feed the dog with.
I see.
That's the analogy of Man United at the moment.
And the irony is that whatever the dog makes,
they'll take some.
They don't use it to feed the dog. They rather take some and take it somewhere.
I see. Wow, turbulent times at Man United. Well, let's see how they fare on the pitch. They return to action next weekend in the Premier League. They take on Sheffield United. Let me read this message. Jordan, this one says, Jordan was the man of the match yesterday. Hey, says the coach's selection made us lose the match. Why did he drop the 2 Midiama boys? And this one says, the team played well. You could see the hunger, but unfortunately for the Stars, more room.
We played well.
That's what somebody said.
In the second half, we were possessing the ball without progressing the ball. No, that is rubbish football.
All right, guys, that's our show for this evening. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you so much, Edwin. Thank you out there for watching. My name is Nathan Kwao. I sat in for a regular host, Benjamin Nketiah. This has been another exciting episode of Scorecard. We are back next Sunday for an extended haul because Club football is back, and we'll have a lot more to talk about. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.